told his tale. And I will tell you mine.
The film opens with the classic horror tale, Frankenstein. This story is more than a monster legend. It questions how far humans can go in defying nature. When mankind tries to play God, will it create salvation or destruction? Victor Frankenstein grew up in a wealthy home. His father was a baron and a skilled surgeon, and his mother came from an aristocratic family with money and good breeding. Her status made his father's standing in society stronger. Because his father was a surgeon, Victor was exposed early to dissections and human anatomy, which sparked an unusual obsession. He even wondered how a baby forms in the dark of the womb, how flesh and bone appear from nothing. One day his mother died in childbirth from heavy bleeding, right before Victor's eyes. Though he later had a brother, William, he lost the person he loved most. Victor, who had always seen his mother as everything, couldn't accept her sudden death. He began to wonder if there was a force that could break the boundary between life and death and bring the dead back to breath. After that, his father lavished care on William while paying less attention to Victor. Victor's absence from the family portrait planted loneliness deep in him. He sank further into questions about life and death, wondering why his father, a great surgeon, couldn't save his mother. Then Victor found a kind of rebirth. Guided by a dark angel in dreams, he set his sights on mastering life and death. He vowed to become an even greater surgeon than his father. War later destroyed the family fortune. Only the manor remained, and his parents died one after another. This pushed Victor even harder. He believed science alone could beat nature. He gave up his remaining wealth, placed William with relatives, and left for Edinburgh to spend decades studying medicine and the secrets of the human body. By 1855, Victor made a major breakthrough in human experiments, but his methods led people to call him a madman and to bring him to court. Still he persisted, even showing his work in court, that humans would no longer fear death but could gain immortality. He pulled a sheet off a recently dead, incomplete body. When he hooked up a battery, the muscles twitched and the corpse showed signs of life. Judges objected, saying it was just electric convulsions, not true resurrection. Victor sneered, then tossed an apple at the body. To everyone's shock, the body suddenly reached up and caught it, clearly aware and responsive. This proved humans might truly revive the dead. The courtroom erupted, but judges still saw Victor as violating nature and God's will. Unable to convince them, Victor stormed out to return to his lab. At the door he met a man named Harland, who delivered a letter from William saying William was about to marry and inviting Victor to meet his fiancée, Pearl, Harland's niece. Harland had another motive. After seeing Victor's experiment in court, he wanted to fund and supply him so the work could continue. 3 days later, Victor arrived at Harland's estate with his notes. Harland revealed he'd been a battlefield doctor who, after seeing too much death, became obsessed with saving lives. He showed Victor an early anatomical map of human nerves, made by peeling tissue from a corpse on planks and fixing the remaining structures with resin. Victor was amazed, and they quickly teamed up to push the resurrection experiment forward. Soon Victor met William and his fiancée Pearl. Weeks later, Victor, William, and Harland crossed the channel to a lakeside abandoned castle that became Victor's new lab. Harland provided anything needed. Victor began selecting subjects, mostly condemned criminals, but when they applied electricity, nothing happened. Harland grew impatient and warned Victor he needed real progress within a week or he'd cut funding. Just when failure seemed likely, Victor had an insight one afternoon. The problem was asymmetry. The current was uneven, so nerve signals couldn't travel properly. He redesigned the circuit into a symmetrical, two-way loop. This time the body reacted, even if only briefly. Victor had found the key. With Harland's help, they scoured battlefields for soldiers' corpses. Victor, a perfectionist, wanted a tall, strong, undamaged body, so he cut and joined the best parts from many corpses until he assembled an ideal specimen. When a thunderstorm rolled in, he realized it was the perfect moment. He powered up the steam engine and giant batteries, set the body in the hall, and called Harland to witness history. But Harland, dying of syphilis and with little time left, confessed his true intent. He wanted his brain transferred into that perfect body so he could live on. Victor refused. Syphilis had infected every organ, and transplanting it would doom the new body. Victor rushed to the roof to install a lightning rod to charge the batteries, and Harland begged him again. When Victor still refused, Harland grabbed a conductor and threatened to destroy everything if Victor wouldn't comply. Harland tried to throw himself from a tower. His head was crushed and the conductor bent but still usable. Victor finished the setup and started the machine. A lightning bolt struck through the lightning rod into the body, sparks flew but then nothing. Victor found no heartbeat. His experiment had failed. Exhausted, he collapsed and slept. When he woke, a figure, the body from last night, stood before him. Victor couldn't believe he'd created a living human. But having made life, Victor hadn't taught the body how to accept the world. Everything was foreign, like arriving at the edge of existence with no horizon. In the days that followed, Victor guided the new being, teaching it dawn and dusk, pain and tenderness, words and silence. It only learned one word at first: Victor. Victor soon realized this new life was evolving rapidly. The body grew stronger, healed fast, and reacted to pain with anger toward Victor. Pearl, who hadn't heard from Harland, visited the castle with William. Victor lied that Harland wasn't there and showed them his creation. Pearl wasn't afraid. Instead, she felt a strange familiarity and warmth and named the being the creature. The creature felt that warmth for the first time, staring at Pearl and feeling the heat of her hand. A feeling he'd never had, like the first crack of spring on frozen ice. They felt an instant, mutual connection. That night Victor came to lock the creature up, but the creature resisted fiercely. Victor was terrified and fled. The next day he told William they must remove the creature because he'd created not a new life but a violent, mindless monster. And he even lied that the creature had killed Harland. Victor feared what might happen if Pearl stayed, so William agreed to help. After William and others left, Victor doused the castle in petrol and lit it, intending to burn the creature alive. But the creature's call stopped Victor cold. He hesitated because the creature was his creation, his child. He couldn't bring himself to finish the act. The fire swallowed the castle, Victor was blasted and broke a leg, and the creature vanished in the chaos. Unknown to Victor, the creature had freed himself from chains just before the explosion and escaped through a drain into the sea. He washed ashore and for the first time tasted fresh air, felt earth under his hands and experienced the world. He wandered the forest, wrapped himself in a blanket from bones, and lived alongside animals as silent companions. A gunshot shattered the woods. 2 hunters saw the creature and fired. The creature's healing was so strong that bullets didn't kill him, and he fled deeper into the forest. He ended up hiding in a barn belonging to those same hunters, staying with mice for company. Day after day he watched the family's routines, learning by watching. When the old man taught the child letters, the creature learned through a crack in the wall, memorizing syllables until he could express himself. To repay them, the creature secretly chopped firewood to keep the family warm and built a pen for their sheep. The family left for a hunting trip, hoping to fatten their income over winter, and only an old blind man stayed behind. Alone, the creature feared being shot but finally entered the house and found the old man already knew of him and appreciated his help. The old man's kindness moved the creature's frozen heart, warming him again. They lived together for many days. The creature learned to listen and speak. But one day he wondered who he really was and where he came from. His dreams were full of fragmented memories and one word came through clearly: Victor. The old man urged him to search for his past, so the creature followed his trail back to the coastal castle, now a ruin. There he found torn papers and Victor's notes and realized the truth. He was a stitched-together experiment made from many corpses, a monster built by Victor. The creature returned to the cottage only to find wolves attacking the old man. He fought the pack using his strength and regenerative power, saved the elder and told him the truth about being a monster. The old man wasn't surprised, but when the hunters returned and found their old man wounded, they blamed the creature and raised their guns. Despite being hurt, the creature didn't fight back. He walked out into the snow and collapsed. Time passed and he woke healed but more painfully alone than ever. Even death felt out of reach. This loneliness was Victor's doing. The creature wanted Victor to make him a companion so he wouldn't be the only one like himself. Using a wedding invitation he found among the ruins, he tracked Victor to where William would marry. They met and the creature asked Victor to create a mate. He didn't want to live forever alone, trapped between life and death. Victor refused. He knew the pain and didn't want to repeat it or doom another being. Their argument escalated. The creature threw Victor aside. Pearl, hearing the commotion, rushed in and ran to the creature, who she loved. Victor secretly did something. A shot rang out. Pearl fell into the creature's arms, her wedding dress stained with blood. William rushed in and, seeing the scene, attacked the creature, thinking the creature had killed Pearl. They fought and William's head was struck. He died instantly. The creature held Pearl and William's bloodied body, stunned. Victor, furious, grabbed a gun and tracked the creature. Pearl was dead. Victor found the creature and they fought again. The creature didn't want to kill Victor. He wanted Victor to feel the pain he'd known, to beg. The chase continued across mountains and glaciers. A relentless pursuit where Victor tried to kill the creature but failed, and the creature could but wouldn't finish Victor. Victor became a plaything in the creature's hands, made to suffer. Victor used explosives but couldn't stop the creature. The noise drew a nearby military ship, and soldiers seized Victor and took him aboard. The creature followed and attacked the crew. The captain, seeing his men hurt, fired to push the creature onto the ice. The creature tried to capsize the ship, but the captain shot the ice apart and trapped the creature in frigid water. Victor confessed to the captain the truth about the creature's origin, admitting his guilt and begging forgiveness. He asked the creature to forgive him and then walked off the ship to use his strength to save the captain. In the end, Victor died, finally acting selflessly and becoming truly human. The creature, meanwhile, wandered into the snowy woods alone, standing in the sun and feeling warmth on his face, his first real human sensation. That's where the story ends.